it's time to retire Brat Summer. Honestly, the Brat Summer meme was dead on arrival, or at least as soon as the Kamala campaign commandeered it for their own agenda. But by now, summer is coming to a close, and Brat, the Brat meme, it's just become turbo cringe. It's so bad. Someone needs to put a stop to this, and there's no death knell for a meme being relevant to young people than Lena Dunham writing spoken word poetry about it.
At least it's not slam poetry.
Lena Dunham published a piece in the New Yorker called A Guide to Brat Summer, and I'm just gonna read you some lines from it to communicate the definition of a brat from Lena Dunham. Brat is walking down the street with headphones on and eyes closed, knocking over passers-by and refusing to say you're sorry. So being a brat is just being a bitch.
Jerk.
Being an inconsiderate bitch.
One thing you're going to notice here, guys, is that if men were to do any of the things listed here, it wouldn't be LOL so random, it would be considered awful.
It's modeling your sex face after Kramer from Seinfeld.
What?
Brat is not going to work for a month and a half, then asking your boss why they seem kind of mad.
That was kind of funny.
So being a brat is just being a loser. Being a brat is just being a female loser.
Being angry, trolling everyone, being selfish.
It's sitting in traffic court for an unpaid speeding ticket, and when told to state your full name, asking the judge whether he's ever been in a situationship.
It's so random.
It's starting a rivalry with Angela Merkel, who has no idea who you are and never will. And every time you see a photo of her, hissing, "Bitch just wants to be me."
Mary, you take like 5 years off my life. And the topics.
No, this is just what
it's not
brain
a good
rot
day
people
for
do.
you.
Brat is just brain rot, basically.
No, it's not.
That's like brain rot behavior.
It's just resurrected LOL so random humor that should have died a decade
And that's
ago.
what brain rot is, honestly.
Instead of LOL so random, it's LOL so degenerate, and it's lame.
Here's another one. It's calling your brother to tell him about a family tragedy and starting the conversation with, "Look, I'm about to run out of battery, so don't be freaked out if my phone dies." Okay, so being a brat is just being a sociopath.
What was the one I said earlier? I said brat is treating yourself to Chick-fil-A after getting an abortion.
We were workshopping some brat memes earlier.
One.
You had a lot of bangers. It can basically be applied to any situation. But yeah, no, thanks. I hate it. Officially just kill off the Brat Summer meme. It's been dead since the Kamala HQ made it their Twitter header. Just end it already. It's painful.
What it is like, again, women will write 8,000 word think pieces about men's privileged behavior that they don't realize is privileged, which is why it's bad, and then promote this type of behavior, not realizing that you're just as bad as men.
Honestly, this is just an excuse to give like bimbos.
We got a 50 super chat from Mr. Playlist Man. Breet, you have a saying, ladies are always willing to forgive themselves or something like that. I can't remember.
There's nothing a toxic, awful behaving woman is more ready to do in life than forgive herself for her own mistakes.
No, I think this is just an excuse to give bimbos, it's just an excuse for their behavior. So rather than someone kind of acting dumb or out of place, they do something so random to get through the day. That's what it is.
I don't think it's a bimbo trait. I think it's like at least some bimbos are wholesome. Dolly Parton, great lady, always nice to everyone, totally wholesome, lovely person, just sunshine.
Bimbo.
I wouldn't say.
I mean, she's been called that before. Definitely.
I mean, you don't make that much money by being like, and if it is, then it's like
she's 100% been called it.
Then it's the same thing as what's her name, Paris Hilton, putting on a character for the sake of making money. Okay.
You said hooking up with JD Vance on a one-night stand is so brat.
This just reminds me of that soccer movie with Amanda Bynes, her character.
She's the man?
Yeah, she's the man. This basically just, they're describing how like early 2000s, like that type of character acted. Like, I'm the shit, like I'm going to do whatever I want. Get away with it, give you silly, innocent answers, because look at me.
Yeah. I think shit like this is exactly the reason why we need to invent the term man-child for women. Why don't we have that yet? because
Yeah.
that's literally what being a brat has become, is just being a woman child and being entitled and a loser with no life.
Again, it won't matter, because then after they do that, they will write a really word salad filled piece of garbage about feminism, right? There was this article that's Nerdrotic posted the cover of yesterday, and it was for like the new Lord of the Rings, and it was like, she takes up space unapologetically, and I almost threw my phone out a fucking window.
I hate that.
It was like something like that. It's like, I take up space too. Shall I apologize? Fuck you.
It's like women doing social
here-
experiments where they're walking down the street and intentionally don't move out of the way when someone is coming the opposite direction.
See, the problem with social media is it's desegregated the genders in every aspect of society, where before, like, men,
Yeah.
they have their talk at the bar, it's pretty masculine. Women, like, book clubs, like
You can tell when you're not
you're
supposed to be
100% right.
privy to a certain conversation.
Everything that I say that to you all the time,
Yeah.
like, everything that you see on the internet is the result of you being part of a discussion you were never meant to
Yeah.
hear. Like, when men bitch about women, it's supposed to be done amongst the bros, and you
Right.
understand that it's 60% maybe just letting off steam, and maybe 40% anger or
now everyone's privy to everything all the time.
They asked a couple of celebrities gave their own interpretation of Brat Summer. Kim Kardashian says Brat Summer is all about embracing your bold, unapologetic self, and Charlie perfectly captures that spirit.
She seems insufferable.
Kim Kardashian?
No, Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
You know how you were describing Zendaya's character from Dude? That's Charlie XCX.
Emily Ratajkowski also offered her own interpretation, saying Charlie XCX is a pop star who's larger than life, but also vulnerable and kind of sad and feels bad about herself.
Look at this is what I mean. All I had to do was just search the words. I don't know what this article is about. I know that it's bullshit. No matter what the inner critic may say, you are allowed to take up space. What the fuck does that mean?
What happened to social distancing?
It's like when they say use the term bodies.
Oh yeah. Well, Charlie actually, guys, if you were unaware of the context this entire time, I apologize. Charlie XCX put out what is being called the album of the summer. The title is Brat. And the entire brand of Brat has gone far beyond the scope of her music, and it's turning into an aesthetic or a vibe that women are trying to embody in order to be as selfish and ignorant as possible. So at the same time that the New Yorker put out their Lena Dunham essay about Brat Summer, they also released an interview with Charlie XCX where she said, "Lying is so fun, so brat. Who made this rule that you have to be truthful and honest in the press as an artist? The press is just a tool." Stares at the journalist.
Yeah.
I'm really quirky.
I can't help but point out that's exactly what some of the media reporting from Gaza does. They just lie. And like,
Well,
why
I guess
not?
if the journalists
Why
lie,
not?
you can lie to them. Charlie seems anxious about how to keep the momentum going and stop it from crossing over into cringe in the process. It is far too late for that.
Here's that meme, by the way, or that thing from the Hollywood Reporter. She
you.
takes up space. She's unapologetic. What the hell does that have to do with Sauron?
Okay, but now, because you got to realize their like rhetoric has been so successful that they don't need to say this woman is being oppressed. It's now just assumed.
Yeah,
That's what
true.
this is. This is the next step in it. It's she's oppressed. She's against all the odds are stacked against her, right? But she can take up space, and she's not going to say sorry, right? Because you have to make those assumptions they've already established.
This has evolved from all of the annoying, flowery quotes that millennial women would post on Facebook
Live, laugh, love.
in MySpace back in the day about female empowerment.
Live, laugh, love is Brat.
Dude, no, you know what it was? The very first one, Live, Laugh, Love was like the corporate thing, but the first like social media thing was the keep calm memes. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And every woman changed it. It's like keep calm and drink wine.
Keep calm and don't let your emotions make you their bitch.
Yeah. That was like the very first viral meme where everybody, not just women, men too, would like put their own little spin on it.
You're right. That should make a comeback, actually.
Yeah.
Bring back that
but
meme
I
format.
guarantee you, all those people memeing it couldn't tell you where it came from. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't.
Really?
No.
It was a British slogan. I think World War II.
Yeah.
She overcame everything that was meant to destroy her. If you live in 21st if you live in the West in the 21st century, that doesn't mean anything. It's like that video where the girls
well-behaved women rarely make history.
It's the really funny video where it's the girl and she's like crying and says if she takes care of herself and she goes to work and the guy just cuts and goes, then she's an adult.
Poking a hole in the condom is so Brat.
Keep calm and be Brat. Yes.
Poking a hole in the condom and getting pregnant and then getting an abortion is so Brat. Yeah. Drinking and smoking while pregnant is Brat.
Oh God.
Honestly, I'm surprised.
Being an ignorant piece of shit is so Brat.
Well, that reminds me of what I wanted to say in the last segment is you said something about how the Swifties for Kamala, they don't want to make people feel like they can't be political, or they want to be comfortable in politics. Like, no, you should be uncomfortable when it comes to politics because it's a whole lot of boring history you need to know. It's a bunch of boring civic stuff that you need to know. There's so much that goes into it just so you can have the slightest little understanding of what's going on in the world. You're not supposed to be comfortable. Like, this idea that any random Joe off the street, we should value that opinion as much as everyone else is
you're valid.
Silly.
You're valid.
If this is the democracy they're protecting.
It's like when Roman Reigns.
I don't want democracy.
When Roman Reigns became a solo wrestler and they were trying to push him as a good guy, his slogan was like, "I can and I will." I'm like, that's the most feminist bullshit I've ever heard. Like, go drink boxed wine, loser.
Here, I've got a white pill though. I was watching Trump's speech and he was meeting with Hispanic Americans in Arizona, and they started chanting "Si se puede" during his event, like a small little event, which is something that Obama started with these.
I didn't know that.
Yes, we can.
Idea.
Yeah, and that's what I think it means. Yes, we can. And so now they took it and now they're using it for Trump. So like these slogans can go either way, you know. I don't know why that thought popped in my
Brat is
head,
a toddler being served her dinner and responding, "I didn't ask to be born." So it's nihilist. It's nihilistic
Yes.
too.
Another one of them was Brat is dying and going to the gates of heaven and seeing cherubs lounging on clouds and saying, "It's giving Hilton Garden Inn, babes."
Anyone,
so it's just being a self-entitled adult toddler.
And this is what I say is like, this could be funny if I was not to also believe that anybody pushing back on you and any of this behavior wouldn't upset you.
It might be funny if you saw, women not acting like this in their daily lives and it were actually a joke.
No, what I'm saying is like, the problem is, by their logic, if they were to do any of this and somebody was mad at them for it, they're supposed to be like, they're not allowed. Right? Like, showing up to Brat is showing up to work after missing for a month and a half and asking your boss why they're mad. If the boss was mad, they would write a piece about how the boss was the one who didn't have a right
it's
to
just like a masterclass on passive aggressive behavior. Like, that's what being Brat is.
It honestly just seems aggressive.
How can we push the envelope to where, like, we almost instigate crazy violence, but we don't? It's like, that's what it is.
Starting a nuclear war is so Brat. Starting World War III is Brat.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.